Welcome to Math Plus, where math makes sense. Why can't we just add straight down? Why do we have to line up the decimals? And what would actually happen if we didn't? I have written the same equation two different ways. Both of them have decimals. If I were to add them the right way, I would line up my decimals because that's the rule. And I want to fill in any gaps with a placeholder. I'll put a 0 there. Now I can add them. 5 plus 0 is 5. 4 plus 3 is 7. Always bring that decimal down when you're adding and subtracting. And 3 plus 1 is 4. That is the right way, and that's your answer. Now I'm going to show you the wrong way. You're just going to line up those numbers like you used to do, right? Before you even knew what decimals were. Now I would add 4 plus 5 is 9. 3 plus 3 is 6. And we'll bring that 1 here. And I guess I'll just bring that decimal in the second one down. I don't know where it goes. What does that mean? I want you to think of decimals as money, okay? If I asked you to add $3.40 to $1.35, that works, right? You would have $4.75. If we do it the wrong way, we could put a dollar sign here and we could put a dollar sign here, but we didn't line them up properly, did we? We just added them. We lined up the numbers and not the decimals, and you ended up with less money. That just doesn't even make sense, does it? This is the wrong way, and I'm going to show you why lining up those decimals makes a big difference. Decimals are all about place value. The decimal point is just like a wall. On this side of the wall, on the left, where the decimal is, we have a decimal right here. On the left side of that wall, we have whole numbers. Whole numbers are what we were introduced to when we first started learning about numbers, right? We learned how to count, then we learned that they all had a place value. We learned how to line them up when we're adding, make sure all the ones are with the ones, and then the tens and the hundreds, right? This is all place value. All of these whole numbers, they all represent 4 equals 4 wholes, right? 300 equals 300 wholes. And this is what our place value chart has looked like. Now we're going to add decimals, and they are on the other side of that wall, right here to show you where that wall is with the decimals, okay? On the other side, we have tenths, hundredths, and thousands. I want to show you a way that you can draw your place value chart if you ever forget what things are called and you forget where the place value is. And that's normal because you're just learning. What you need to do is take your ones place and make that be part of the wall. Okay, think of it this way. Color it all in, right? Even though it still is part of the whole numbers and the decimal is after the ones, but I want to show you a way that is easy to remember where everything goes. Over here we have our tens, and if you go to the other side of the wall, it's called tenths. So see how you're going to start seeing there's a pattern. We have our hundreds, and then we have our hundredths. See that pattern? Then we have thousands, and on the other side is thousands. And it will work that way indefinitely. Numbers never stop. They go on and on into infinity. They never stop. So as big as this chart could get, it will always have that mirror image. It will be the same on the left, and you can go over, and the very next one would be the same on the other side, except it's a part instead of a whole. So after thousands, we say 10,000s. After thousandths, we say 10,000. That's a way to help you to remember how to draw your decimal place value chart and to get your answers correct, especially in the beginning when you're first learning. Let's try two numbers with decimals, okay? I want to show you in the place value chart how that can help you when you're adding, okay? Let's say you forgot, all right, and you just didn't know, you forgot all about doing that. And if that's a mistake that you keep making, you keep forgetting to line them up, then use your place value chart. So this is 3 and 24. So my decimal is right here, and I'm going to put my 3 and 24 hundredths. And then here I have 17.3, right? So again, use that decimal. My 3 goes here, and my 17 goes over here. But can you see how that will help you to line everything up? Use graph paper. That will also help you. If you have one of your place value columns and they're like right here, there's a 4 and there's nothing under it, just so you remember, put a 0 there, and you can use a colored pencil and change that. Just so you remember that that 4 is added to 0, right? 3 plus 2 in the tenths place. Bring that decimal down. If it helps, maybe bring the decimal down first. Now we're doing ones and tens, and we're used to doing that. So we have our 7 plus 3 is 10, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Many students, when they think of decimals as money, it really makes sense. Most of you, if you like money and you know how to count it and you know how to work with it, you can add that up in your head right away because you see dollars and you see cents. If you need to look at decimals that way, then do it. Because if you were lining them up, would you line up your dollars with the cents? Absolutely not. You're going to keep those dollars with dollars and the cents with cents. Decimals work the same way. You have to line them up so they have the same value. And again, we're going to line these up, put our decimal here, our decimal, line them up. And I'm going to, this time, which I think is a very good habit, is to go right down to your answer and put that decimal in right away. And now you can add. We have a 5, we have a 7, and we have $5.75. And like I said, I think many of you were able just to look at that money and add them up. But then when I called a decimal, you're like, oh no, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. You line them up according to their place value. Let's see if you remember what you've just learned. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and you shout out the answer. When we're adding decimals, are we lining up the numbers? Just answer yes or no. Oh, a little bit louder. Are we lining up those numbers? Is that what we're supposed to be doing? No, we are not lining up numbers. Are we lining up decimal points? When I'm adding decimals, even subtracting them, are we lining up decimal points? Give me a yes or give me a no. Oh, I heard that one loud and clear. Yes, absolutely. Line up those decimals. Can you tell me why? Why are we lining up decimals? And here's the answer. You're lining up the value of each one of these digits. If it's in the tenths place, it's only worth a tenth of 100, right? A tenth. If it's in the ones place, it's worth 1. If it's in the tens place, it's worth 10, and so on. And we have our hundreds, and then we have our thousands. Again, if you're thinking of money, you'll normally just go out this far. If you could draw a chart to go from the thousands all the way to the thousands, this will help you understand immensely. And learn that chart, learn how to draw it and plug those numbers in. So here's the question that you ask yourself. If I add 4.5 plus 0.32, what should I do first? So anytime you see decimals, ask yourself, what is the first thing that I should do? And the first thing that you should do is line up your decimals. 4.5, 0.32. Fill in the zeros for placeholders. Of course, I'm adding, and now I can add 2 and 8 and 4. See how I put that wall right down the middle so that I don't accidentally line up the numbers. I want to line up the decimal point. And the reason, the why, is because I'm lining up place value, the value of that number. Dollars stay with dollars, and cents stays with cents.